everybody, and welcome to my channel. This is Leslie, and thank you so much for joining me today. I am taking part in the paper issues fall crop. So my challenge today is to do anything with lots of pattern papers. So it's like pattern play, I think is the challenge's name. So there you see a photo of me and having my baby on my back, and that's something we do in South Africa. And it is amazing. The baby's on your back and the baby hears your heartbeat and they feel your warmth, and obviously your movement calms your baby down. It's exactly the same principle as the swing or the sling or the baby carrier or that Uber mama bag thing that the moms with the good backs can wear, but except the baby sits on your back, so you actually have your front and your arms and your things that you can move around and do things with. So I had Emma was a baby at that stage, and she was clearly having a very bad day, so I had to have her on my back, and it calmed her down and she was happy. So that is my photo. I am using the Mom's Life collection from Bella BLVD, and there you see I stitched all around. I stitched in circles and I left some little thread nests wherever I could. I had a little bit of problem. I think I was stitching with my We Are Memory Keepers machine, and it wasn't very happy with me. I have no idea why, but anywho, so let me carry on with telling you what I did. I have a bunch of butterfly punches, and I took the pattern papers from the collection. And as you know, Bella BLVD, their papers are very bright, very colorful, lots of patterns. And I just punched out lots and lots and lots of butterflies out of all of these different pattern papers. And as you can see there, I'm sticking down the big butterflies first, and then I'm going to fill in the open spaces with the smaller butterflies. And I tried to space out those big butterflies, the big colorful ones, as much as I could, so that the spacing would be uniform, if you know what I mean. So it would be pleasing to the eye if you looked at it, and then it would be well balanced as well. If that's your thing. I think with people with like full-on OCD, this would be a serious issue. They would have to go measure out the distances between the butterflies. I don't have OCD, I'm just particular, but this was quite important to me to try to get the butterflies as spread out evenly as I could, as possible. And this took me quite some time. However, this layout was super easy and super fun to do. I haven't done a layout like this before, where I just hacked into papers and murdered the 12 by 12s and made butterflies, and I liked it. And the thing is that I got to use this collection, otherwise it would just be stuck in my cupboard or in my drawer. So obviously these butterflies are very colorful and they are very busy, so I thought it would be best if I did the majority of the layout on a white piece of American Crafts textured white cardstock, and then mount it on some of the patterned paper from the collection. However, this is like a very neutral pattern paper, these diamonds, these black and white diamonds, and I really liked the way that complemented also the black and white of my photo. Sort of the inside of the circle, there's something black and white, and then on the outside of the circle there's something black and white as well. So it's that it works with my brain. If I can so I don't know how to explain it better. So I had to go back a couple of times to punch out some more butterflies. I ran out of butterflies. I didn't think I would, because I punched out a lot, but I did run out of little butterflies, and I had to go back and punch out some more. But yes, that is basically the layout. I loved making this layout. I usually don't use so much pattern paper on my layouts, And if you are scared of pattern paper, like layering pattern papers, or using a pattern background, do something like this, where it's a muted background, a neutral background, and then add little, punched little embellishments. You can do this with hearts, you can do this with diamonds, you can do this even with little squares, with circles, just to add that pattern. If if you want to delve into the pattern paper deep dark hole that you can get stuck in with pattern paper. I think it's like a trap. Pattern paper is like a trap. Once you get stuck in it, you're stuck. And it's lovely to be in that trap, though, because it's so colorful and wonderful. So it's something very different for me. I'm used to a white background, fussy cutting and so on. And I didn't do any fussy cutting, I think, in this layout. So you'll see that I did take some of my white thread just to add some more texture. I wanted something more whimsical in this layout, and I made some thread nests and just sort of nestled them and tucked them in behind and below the butterflies, just to add something, that would sort of seem like they're fluttering about. So I do add some Heidi Swap Color Shine. That color is called, let me just see here. Where are you? It's called Mint. And I really liked the pop that gave to those little mint butterflies, that sort of buffalo plaid mint colored butterflies. And that worked really well for me. Now that little tag, or that little embellishment that I put on over my photo, says today's goals, keep tiny humans alive. I think, yeah, it says that. And on that day, it was literally my goal was to keep that child alive, because she was screaming and going on and on and on. And I had run out of ideas. She wouldn't sit in her swing. She wouldn't let me hold her. She wouldn't let me cuddle her, or she just wanted to be on the back. So I put her on my back and it worked. So for the matting and the backing of my photo, I just used some of the cut apart, or was it the cut aparts? I think there's one cut apart from the cut apart sheet that I used, and then there's one of the ephemera pieces that I also used as part of my matting for my photo. I have a little tab at the top there that I'm just going to be writing the date, and there you'll see that I am going to be adding some more little butterflies. I'm not sure who is the manufacturer of that little punch, but it's a fabulous punch. It takes minimal effort to punch through the paper, and that is something that I've been struggling with since the birth of Lucy. My hands get very sore very quickly if I do punch things and hand stitch paper and so on. I'm not sure why, but that little punch is fabulous because my hands don't get sore when I punch with that thing. So just for some extra texture, I add some more white butterflies, and that's just to sort of you add the butterflies, but you don't add patterned butterflies, so it's not overwhelming, but you can see that there's something, but you don't really see anything. So it's almost like plays a trick on your eye, if you get where I'm going with that. But anyway, so I am going to go over to my typewriter and do some journaling, and that's basically just telling the story of how I had to Abba Emma that day, and what we call this technique of baby on back. We call it Abba, and it's I'm not sure which language. It's one of the black languages in South Africa. I'm not sure. Maybe it's Zulu or Tswana or something. I'm not sure what language it is, or maybe it's just in all of the languages it means the same thing. I'm not sure. I know some other some people call it Peppa, but anyway, I grew up calling it Abba. So that is my story of how I had to Abba Emma that day, and she was very happy being abad on my back. And yeah, and there you go. I just cut my journaling into those little strips, and I sort of arranged them in sentences, and just in a nice formation there on that side of my photo. So, and you can hear in the background Lucy is having a ball with her older brothers and sister. So I think they're going to come waltzing in here, so I better just keep a lookout for that. So there I'm just writing the date in there, and I think, yes, I'm coming in with some black color shine. I wanted to bring in some more black that's in the photo, and also the little pops of black that the journaling gives. And yes, of course I mess on my photo, but luckily it's wiped off. Oh, and there you see I made the beautiful Heidi Swapp color shine smudged. It leaked or bled into the paper because I cut the paper, and it sort of bled into the side of the paper, so I had to add some more butterflies. Why not? So I took those big white butterflies that I cut. I think I actually punched them out first, and I thought I wouldn't use them, but there I used it. And look how nicely it covered it up. And it didn't add too much more color and texture. It just added that subtle something, and it covered up the big blob. So there you go. Hope you guys join the crop.